These black women's art from the civil rights through today demonstrate a learned autonomy and pride in subject position through the use of weapon iconography, the raised fist, and the Pan-African colors. Using these notions of security, artists began to shift their artistic approach from telling the viewer how to feel and react to forcing the participant to challenge their own aggressions against black women and relearn what they know. In 1970, Elizabeth Catlett introduced a new visual language using a gun in her lithograph, Homage to the Panthers. Her usage of the gun suggests the lengths the party was willing to go to reach freedom. A year later, Dinda McCannon incorporated a bullet belt in her piece Revolutionary Sister. With a spiky crown around the subject's head, the implication becomes the threat of the mind rather than the literal threat of danger. In the following 3 years, Betty Saar's works, Liberation of Aunt Jemima and Liberation of Aunt Jemima Cocktail, both reference this weapon iconography again. They picture tropes of black women, adding a layer of commentary on the commodification of black femininity, and demonstrating a refusal to transform to white norms. In the most contemporary work of this collection, Episode 1 of the Foxy Five, guns reappear. Here, they mainly invoke and pay tribute to artists who used the iconography during past revolutionary movements, such as Catlett's own works from decades before. Elizabeth Catlett also used the global anti-colonial symbol of the raised fist in her piece Homage to My Young Black Sisters. The figure, simultaneously planted firmly on the ground and suggesting forward motion with unique leg contours, captures both security in the moment and progress into the future. Here, the fist demonstrates black feminist solidarity, which is different from its use in the poster we saw earlier, where it stood as a symbol of resistance to white supremacy and demonstrated power in unity. The Pan-African colors, black, green, and red, are also a recurring theme amongst many of these works. The colors originated in the early 1900s when Marcus Garvey was helping build a global movement to liberate people of African descent, and it resurfaced heavily during the 60s and through today. Faith Ringgold's Women Free Angela is the first piece in this collection to use the colors. By cleverly arranging the words Women Free Angela, Ringgold calls on black women to free other black women, creating a unique statement on the power of codependency and collective trust within a movement. The use of the Pan-African colors acts as a call to specifically people of African descent to unite for their sister by continuing her own anti-imprisonment campaign. Back to McCannon. This piece captures the pride, the joy, and the power of being black. The color scale in the background is the same as the color scale on the subject, creating a sense of unity between the woman pictured and the world she lives in. Betty Saar's implementation of the colors acts more as a reminder to black communities of the power and threat of social action. In 1986, Adrian Piper's work became symbolic of a shift in the artistic language. By handing out pre-made calling cards to people who made aggressions to her subject position as a black woman, Piper forces the participant to reconcile with their actions. She demands autonomy over her own experience as a lighter-skinned black woman who has to put up with more than average racist comments and denies the participants comfort. Catlett's next piece is reflective of this change in style and how it asks the viewer to interact with it. From Here I Saw What Happened and I Cried demands the viewer to look at the past through a new perspective. The title helps to situate the viewer in the present moment and urge the sadness of looking back into the annals of white supremacy, patriarchy, and imperialism while paying tribute to her ancestors. Shala Lynch's documentary, Free Angela and All Political Prisoners, rewrites the stories told about Angela Davis by the media of the time. By mixing clips of her from the past with contemporary interviews of her and her family, Davis becomes more relatable and is rightfully elevated to her role as a crucial feminist foremother. Walida Emerisha similarly rewrites a media narrative by looking at the Black Panther Party's socialist-style community support systems. Both Lynch and Emerisha challenge the viewer's understanding of black radicality by retelling the stories of revolutionary people. This works to pass knowledge down to future radicals about how to be more radical and to inform the misinformed public. Jamila Woods finishes off the collection with her 2016 music video, Black Girl Soldier, which honors the hard work her foremothers have done. Dancing with two young girls, she teaches new generations to respect and learn from the foremothers of the global Black liberation movement by naming them, including them in the background behind her, and using their very iconography.